Oh, happy haze.
Hello, parents, guardians, and teachers. Oh, Happy Hayes here. And I am so excited to start a new lesson with you today, all about writing. So, a lot of my videos have been associated with reading, of course, and your learners have really mastered their letter sounds and now the chunks that they can find inside of words. They've been practicing sight words and now they can read pattern books. So I will be showing a couple of the level B and level C reading A to Z books coming up in my next videos, but I had quite a few comments asking for videos about writing. So I thought I'd jump into that first. Now, when you are approaching writing with young learners, I want to remind you that writing is scary. Honestly, for kids that are not confident in their reading ability, they are going to be a little bit self-conscious and apprehensive about writing. So just take it one step at a time, just encourage them along the way, and it's going to be a work in progress. But the best part about it is I'm going to teach you how to do it in very tiny baby steps. Like, I'm not kidding, 2-word sentences, okay? So here is the beauty of writing. In your time in the reading videos, right? You were learning all the letter sounds, your students were learning all the chunks and all these different rules about how to read. They all are going to be applied in writing, okay? So if they know their sounds, if they know their chunks and all these things, writing is going to hopefully come easy to them. Now, I know that that is going to take a lot of brain power, right? Because they have to retrieve the letter sounds, and that's going to require a lot of patience from the parent or the guardian or the teacher. So please, please, please try your best not to give them all the letter sounds or the chunks, and allow them to make mistakes. Encourage mistakes. If they're spelling words wrong, it's fine. It's okay. Spelling is not a big deal. Let me say it again. Spelling does not matter in the first years of writing. And also think about it right now. Does spelling actually matter now? Because we have spell check, okay? So just being real with you here. So honestly, just think about the phonics part of it. Are they getting the sounds that are required to create a word? Okay, so where do we begin? First thing you need to know is segmenting. So segmenting is a really fun activity that you can do anywhere. Segmenting can actually help them to sound these words out before they write them, right? When we are reading, we just sound them out and then put the pieces together, put all the letters together to make a word. Now we're doing the opposite. We want to write the word and we want to pull the letters apart. So this way, when you're segmenting, you can identify the letters and write each one to create a word. All right, so how to segment. I love, you know me, I'm always trying to make it fun. I love to segment like a robot. That's how I start my lesson. Today I am a robot. I know, I sound crazy, but I get my hands up. And again, it's so fun to get into a rhythm and they'll start to understand, okay, Mrs. Hayes is a robot today. I'm going to segment my words. Now, please don't get segmenting confused with syllables. I can see why that would happen. But when we segment, we try to pull apart every single sound. Highly recommend starting with 3-letter words, okay? So 3-letter words, CVC words, consonant, vowel, consonant, okay? So let's say dig. The word is dig. The word is dig. Segment, d, g, dig. You see how is it a robot? D, g, dig. So that way I can break apart the sounds. So when we go to write, I would write d, g, g, right? So it's starting to break those words apart into the sounds. Let's do another one. Segment, get ready. The word is cat. The word is cat. Segment, cat. And they can do the silliest voices. So you'll just give them any word. Again, start with three letters. And you can do this in the car. You can do this at the beach. You can do this when they're in the bathroom line. They're walking to specials. Segment words. And they're breaking apart each sound. Let's do one more. Flip. Ooh, flip. Ooh, this is not going to be three. I already hear blend. Get ready. Flip. So, teacher preference, if you want them to use that blend and say full, FL, fine. If you want them to segment each and every sound, fine. Whatever works for you in your class, or you and your students and scholars, or you and your children. So I highly recommend, as a warm-up to your writing lesson or your writing activity if you're at home, is to segment some words and get in your robot language, because then when you start to write, you can use the segmenting to help you sound out the words. So where to begin? Google writing prompt image or picture writing prompt. Now, in these writing prompts, you are going to see lots of action happening, and this is going to allow your child or students to talk about the image. So first, just talk about it. So on my screen here, and I'll show it to you now, it is a summer scene, and it's a very busy beach. So I might say to my students, what do you see? Okay, and they'll start to talk about it. I see some kids are digging in the sand, the waves are rolling in. And as you start to talk about the picture, I want you to say, yes, all of those things, yes. Now focus on just one part, okay? So I see a little girl and she's in the sand, but all I'm gonna write is she digs. She digs, 2 words. These sentences are going to be called bare bones, okay? So it's really just going to have the who and the what, okay? Who, she, what is she doing? Digging, okay? So she digs. And of course, this is brand new to them, so you don't need to start talking about, well, in present tense, digs is present. No, you don't need to do that. You don't need to say, well, she is digging, present continuous. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. All right, so here's the beauty of it. If you're going to have them write, she digs, I don't want them to write the letters first. Don't even start writing the words first. The first thing you can do is write lines. What? I know. She digs. Ready? She digs. Period. And exposing them to the capital letter at the beginning, the period at the end. I like to go like this, capital letter, and I'm like pulling my hands apart. And once I teach that, they start to know it as a nonverbal. So I don't actually have to tell them. I'll like point at the letter. I'll go like this. And they're like, oh, duh, I need to capitalize the beginning of my sentence. And then at the end of the sentence, I go like this, stop. And that's the period. And again, nonverbal, once they know that this is the stop, I'll point. They're like, oh, I need a period at the end. So the student knows there are 2 words in the sentence and it ends with a period. Okay? Now they can start to decode, to encode. Now they can start to sound those words out. Or in this case, she is a sight word. But if you don't know she as a sight word, you can think shh. But 2 letters say shh, S-H. And here they can make sure they're starting their sentence with a capital letter. Sh, E. I know what letter that is. She. Okay, she. And then the next word is digs. You will use those segmenting skills that you just practiced before you started writing, and that is going to help you to write here. So digs, segment, digs, ig. Let's do that again. Ig. So do you see how we're really segmenting that word? We're breaking it apart so they can hear every single sound. Okay, now that we've segmented it, let's do it and write the letter sounds we hear. D. That's right, it's a D. I. It's an I. D. Ig. And do you see how I'm starting from the beginning each time? D. Ig. An S. Let's read our sentence. She digs. You read it. She digs. So again, that's segmenting before you even start writing. You can be a robot. Is going to help them to break apart the word and hear every single letter sound. Let's do another one. If I'm looking at my summer scene, it's a busy beach. I can start to look at the water. So he swims. Another sentence. And you don't even need to say the girl, a lifeguard, right? Just keep it simple. He, she, they, whatever pronouns you'd like to use. It, right? The waves. You can use whatever you like, whatever you think they're ready for. Okay? So he swims. So before we even start writing, think he swims. All right, I'm going to write my lines. He swims. Period. All right, let's write he. Little H. E. That's a sight word. I know that word. He swims. Oh, stop. Pencil down. Let's segment swims. Ooh, that's a lot of sounds. Here we go. S, w, I, s. I know a lot of you have taught blends. So if you want to do sw together, that's fine. But if you want to segment every single sound, s, w, I, s, swims. That way they can hear every single sound in the word. Okay, now that we've segmented, we're ready to write. Here we go. Sound it out. Get ready. Use that same language that we used when we were reading. Sound it out. Get ready. And now we're going to write it. So here we go. Sw, sw. Okay. Sw, I. Ooh, it's another I, just like digs. Sw, I, my M. Sw, I, swims. All right. So just a simple example, just to gain their confidence. Now, if you see, because this is going to happen, especially if you're a teacher and you're trying to manage like 5 different students or maybe the whole class. If you go back and you see that they write he swims and they wrote swims with S-M-S, applaud them. Cheer them on. They found 3 of the 5 letters. That is just fine because as an educator, as a parent, you are starting to build that foundational skill of writing, and we want to encourage them as much as we can. And SMS looks like the word swims. We're almost there, right? We're just missing a couple of letters. Don't go back and tell them that they're missing a couple of letters. Maybe if they're still doing that, like after a couple of weeks, you can go back and tell them. But the first time when they're really just being exposed to writing, we really want to gain that confidence. All right, I hope that's helpful. Then I think your next step, once you're starting to feel confident, looking at pictures, finding those bare bones sentences, the who and the what, they can move on and they can start to really story tell. So if you want them to tell you a story, what did you do today? I went to the store, right? I went to the store. You can say, okay, let me help you. And you, as the parent or the educator, can write the lines. Okay, so here I would actually encourage you to have them illustrate at the top. And then at the bottom, again, you can do this on a whiteboard, a notebook, you see, printer paper, whatever you have. Notice I made a small line. Went, do you see how I made it a little longer? To, small line, the store. Okay, and as you can see, the lines are going to show them, oh, store has a lot more letters than I. Store has a lot more letters than I went to. To is a short word. Okay, so you, as the grown-up, as the parent, as the educator, as the guardian, can draw the lines for them. And that way they can start to understand, okay, these each represent a word. So I might even have them read their sentence with no words. Ready? I went to the store. You read it. I went to the store. And after they know exactly what to do, and this is perfect if you have like a kidney bean table, right? And you're working with like 5 different kids. You could say, okay, you're ready. You're ready to write. I'm going to come back and check on you. I went to the store. Go to work. And then I'll move on to the next one. Okay, what's the sentence you want to write? And then I'll draw the lines for the next one. Okay, you're ready. And then I'll go back and check. Okay, and then I can also give them that option. Once you think you're done writing, start to illustrate. Okay, now, last but not least, please bear with me in my illustration. I just wanted to do it for fun and to also just give you another idea. This is all your preference, okay? If you want to just be writing and no illustrating, that's okay. Some teachers prefer to do the illustration first and then do the sentence. That's fine too. You choose. Now, the reason I drew this horrible picture was so that you can also see that at the beginning of writing, it doesn't just need to be sentences. It can also be labels. So do not underestimate labeling, all right? If you don't even feel like your kids are ready to start writing sentences, you might just start by giving them a picture and having them label. And what do I mean by label? Let me show you. All right, I went to the store. What is your picture of? That's the store. Amazing. Let's label it. Okay, now just tell them, just draw a line so I can see that you're telling me what this is. And now I'm going to sound out the word store. Store. S-T-O-R. Great. This is a store. I love how you labeled store. Perfect. I know exactly what it is. If they just put S, fine. If they just put S-R, great. You know that they're starting to think about how to label these pictures. Who's that? Well, that's me. Fantastic. Can you label yourself? And then they can label E, or they might even want to write their name. Oh, what's that right there? That's a door. Great. Well, can you label it for me? D or DR. Fine, that looks great. The door. Okay. So again, please, please, please as you are starting, and I'm saying please, 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 because I'm an educator and I've seen what happens when kids get discouraged right from the get-go. Because I have seen some kindergartners come in and already say, I hate writing. And it's because, sometimes they've been exposed to it and then they are critiqued so harshly that they decide that at the ripe young age of 4 and 5 that they don't like writing. And that is devastating because it's hard to come back from that. So again, thank you for your time. I hope that was helpful. And just keep encouraging them to use those letter sounds, use those chunks. And now that they know sight words, they can write fuller sentences. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helps. And more writing lessons are coming your way, as well as some more reading A to Z lessons with those paper books. And I can't wait to show you the next levels. So I'll see you soon.